Hello, peace everyone. How are you doing? And I come to bring you some inspirational, some motivational, and some uplifting news here tonight. Even in the darkest time, the sun is not vanquished. Let us all bring more light and compassion into the world. Quote and unquote by Dacha Avalon on the winter solstice. Here's a happy headline for you. Kindness remembered. My Christmas story that made it onto page 1. Mr. Don Lambert worked at a small newspaper in Kansas almost 50 years ago. And with that being said, on that day, that Christmas Eve, some kindness was given to him. And he wrote about it. And he just wanted everybody to know that his story made it to the front page. And he just goes on to tell about the list of events that happened on that day as he remembered it. And that was just great. Check it out. The Good News Network does have some wonderful stories up there to bring you some peace into your heart and soul and into your mind. Some of them will make you cry. Some of them will make you smile. But all in all, you will begin to feel the happiness and joy from these same stories that I read. These stories are great, and the Good News Network, they do a great job on putting out great material and gathering up these stories. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me, Chico Chad, as you continue to get better news stories from me. Wow, this is an amazing story. This at Banner Thunderbird Medical Center wanted to throw a wedding for this lovely young lady and her handsome fiance right here. And I mean, this is unbelievable that the staff got together and wanted to show that much love. The way they put up the decorations, the way they had everything set up, the cake. The couple had nothing to worry about, nothing at all. And that is unbelievable love. And I just love sharing this with you. If you want to read more about it, you can also go on to the goodnewsnetwork.org and you can find it right there. We also want to give a special thanks. They reached out and they helped with the whole ceremony and everything that went on at the medical center. That is wonderful. So once again, we want to thank you, Smiles for Miles. Yes, we out here on YouTube and in Minnesota. We want to wish you the best on your chemotherapy and hope that everything goes better for you. Thank you and congratulations. How about this story for our next electronic technical story, however you want to look at it? Instead of just throwing all these electronics away, France has become the first country to label electronics with repairability tags. Isn't that amazing? Now that also gives someone a job to also repair these. That is great. I really like this story. I want to share more with you. Now, the European Parliament plans to boost sustainability by promoting the reuse and repairs of phones, laptops, tablets, and other electronics, and by tracking practices that shorten the lifespan on such products. That is such great news. France is reported to begin doing this as soon as possible. And here you can see someone working on some old electronics that probably was, discontinued or something like that. But they are working on making these products better, maybe bring them up to date, bring them up to speed, or maybe fix them and give it to someone or sell them to someone less fortunate at a cheaper price that might not have a computer but can refurbish these and sell it to them. That is a great idea, and I hope that's one way they could go with it, or just give it to the school children so that they could learn. That is also another way that they could go with it. It's tons of options that they have out here, and the way that they're saving the electronics and the plastic by refurbishing them is great, and I definitely think this is a great idea, and other countries may catch on to it soon. So France, we want to give you a special thanks for using these refurbished electronics, these phones, these tablets, these watches, anything that you can get your hands on. Just let us know if we can send you anything. There's tons of electronics over here not being used. Can you use electronics from the United States? That's a good question. Here's some great horticulture for you. This Englishman grows over 500 types of edible foods with only a few hours work a month. And I want to know how he did it. And I'm sure you want to know how he did it also. Alright. So far from pursuing the American dream, these farmers in England's southwest have been growing 500 types of food for over 20 years. Now listen to this. This type of temperament forest growing is known as agroforestry. Martin Crawford's garden is wild but tame, a forest capable of producing tons of food with only little as a few hours work a month. That is awesome. They have found a way to grow food in the forest, right there, and let the forest do the work. The word system here is important because whereas normal farmers look to isolate certain parts of the natural systems for complete control, successful thus far, Crawford's garden success depends on it holding its own as a fully functional and complex ecosystem. And that's what makes it so unique, people, that this system that he has set up can survive on its own and create its own nourishment that it needs to thrive in a natural forest. And that is what we need more of. We need to teach us how we can do this. But not all land you could do this on. Not all land grows for us. So what happens if you live somewhere that's not of, this type of agroforestry atmosphere? Do you go without eating? You have to trade. You have to buy something. It's always a will, there's a way, but it's always non-growing areas that do not operate. Crawford also goes to explain in the video on YouTube and National Geographic that you need 7 layers: tall trees, small trees, shrubs, perennials, ground cover, root crops, and climbers. All this type of stuff needs to be there, but also what he calls a system of plants which aid to nitrogen distribution and mineral accumulating, and others which attract pollinating species that eat pests. In addition, he also grows utilitarian plants that are used and meant for weaving fibers, basket making, medicinal plants, and plants meant for fine timber as well. He even has fruit brushes spliced into existence in Cold War era Soviet laboratories, and that is what is wicked about this. He has access to grow all these type of plants and this elements and this atmosphere, and this has got to be great. Just teach others. Show us what we need to do. Thank you, Mr. Crawford, for sharing your story. We really appreciate it. Now, this next story that I'm going to share with you is about building self-confidence in children, and this is something that I really enjoy because all of us need that little boost when we're little people to know which direction you know, we need to go in for that year, for that day. And just, you know, every decision that in your life at that point is just about, you know, crayons and, you know, learning how to tie your shoe and stuff like that. And it makes it so much easier if you have the self-confidence to do it. It really is. And I can vouch for that, because I know with having children, you have to give them a little push and talk to them and let them know that they can do it. They're going to fall down, but they will get back up and they will try it again. What makes this book so great is that Jade Hadmeister she's using real stories, real life experiences to build up confidence in other people, and that is what is so wonderful about it. Here, you can go check out the story right here on the Good News Network. And if you like what you hear, please leave a comment below. If you know someone who's doing something great and you want to share their story, let me know, and I'll talk about it on my next show. And that would be great. We'll get their story out there as well. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell button, because we will be bringing you more news that is inspirational. All right, lots of things went on this day in history. Let's give a special shout out birthday to Samuel L. Jackson, who is 72 years old today. He has been in dozens of films: Pulp Fiction, Goodfellas, The Negotiator, The Kingsman, Jurassic Park, Django, Jackson, all types of Nick Fury, The Avengers. He is awesome. Happy birthday, Samuel L. Jackson. And another great famous actress or someone who made it big on TV is Jane Fonda. She turns 83 years old today. This Oscar-winning actress is a daughter of acclaimed actor Henry Fonda. Jane changed the face of fitness for women in America by introducing her Jane Fonda's Workout at-home videotape, turning on millions to exercising in their own living rooms. And that's when she became famous. But she also began to do stuff on up in her senior years. She raised $1.3 million when she reached 80. She wrote a book when she was 75 years old, and she said that we can do many things in the third act of our senior years, and this is great. She's even on a Netflix called Grace and Frankie right now, and that is great. She is out here still doing it at 83 years old. Go ahead, Miss Fonda. You keep up that good work. We are very grateful for your time. Thank you for listening to Happy Headlines with Chico Chad, with news brought to you by the Good News Network. And if you would like to subscribe to my channel, please do. I ask that you hit the notification bell and you keep your eyes open for the next video, because there will be more good news and inspirational news and motivational news brought to you by Chico Chad.